Welcome to Oh What channel. If you like the video, please share, like and subscribe.
What is Python and why it's so popular? Welcome back. Before we write any code, let's understand what makes Python so special. Python is a general purpose programming language. It's simple, readable, and used almost everywhere, such as web development, data science, automation, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and organizations which use Python are Google, YouTube, Microsoft, and so many other organizations. Python was developed by Guido van Rossum in early 1990th century, and its latest version is Python 3. In the next lesson, we will install Python and set up your coding environment so you can start writing code. See you there. Welcome back everyone. I hope you have learned how to download and install Python and PyCharm in your computer and also enjoyed while you are writing your first line of code in editor from our previous lesson. In today's lecture, we will start with the foundation of Python programming language, which is variables and data types. Before we start talking about on variables, let's delete this line of code, or if you want to keep it, you can as you wish. But in case you want to keep this line of code, just add a hash character or sign with a space before this line. By using this hash sign, now this line of code become a comment. In Python, a comment is for human, not for program. We can use a comment in Python to make our code more readable. When we use this sign with a code line or any text, it means that we are trying to tell Python, do not execute this line when we are testing our code. And when Python sees this character, whatever comes after this character, Python will ignore it completely without executing it, because it's now just a comment, not a code. Now let's start with our variables. A variable is like a container. In Python, variables are used to store data that can be referenced and manipulated during programming execution. Now it's time to give an example to understand it clearly. For example, x equal to 5, y equal to, inside double quote, let's write my name, Nasreen, name equal to single quote. Inside single quote, let's type America. Now we have three variables, which are x, y, and name. And the type of our first variable is integer because it contains a number, or we can say a whole number. The value for our second variable is Nasreen, which is my name, and the type of our second variable and third variable is string. I know there is a question in your mind that you're asking from yourself, when we have the same type for our second variable and third variable, then why their values are in different quotes? Because strings always comes inside quote or double quote. In Python, you can use double quote or single quote in the same line of code. There is no difference between single quote and double quote. You use both of them at the same time or different time, you will get the same result. Now let's print our variables to get the result by using print function. Function is another important topic in Python that we will discuss in our upcoming videos. Let's type print bracket, inside bracket let's put our first variable name, which is x. New line, print bracket our second variable name, which is y. Print bracket. Now let's put our third variable name, which is name. Now let's print the run button to see our result in console. Okay, unfortunately we got an error, which is name error, and the name error says name x is not defined. Did you mean x? In our 7 and 8 line, we both mistyped our x and y by typing them in capital letters. So now we'll fix it and again press the run button to see what we'll get this time. Good. Now we got our variables output in console, which are 5, Nasreen, and America. Equal operators are used to assign a value to a variables. Okay, now let's get our variable types. How can we get our variables type? In Python, we can determine the type of our variables using the type function. Type function is another function which is built-in function in Python like print function. So let's get our variables type by using type function after print function. Open bracket, write type, second bracket, and now put your variable's name, which is x. And we should repeat the same thing with our second print and third print. Open bracket, write type, another bracket, variable name, which is y, and open bracket, just write type, open second bracket, and put our third variable name, which is name. And now let's click on run button again to see can we get our variable types in console or not. Fortunately, we got our variables type in console. The type of our first variable is class integer. The type of our second and third variable are class string. As I already give a little bit information about them. In our next lesson, we'll discuss in details about integer and string, because this comes under another topic, which is data types in Python. Now let's learn how to delete a variable in editor. We can remove a variable from the namespace using the delete keyword. This delete keyword removes the variable and frees up the memory it was using. Let's learn it in practical. For example, after our first variable, open new line and type del, stands for delete keyword, and type our variable name, which is x. This delete x removed our variables from memory. So that's why we get the output in name error. It means after deleting our x variable and then trying to access the variable x result in a name error, indicating that the variable is no longer exist. Okay, in this lesson we learn about variables, how to delete variable, and how to get our variable type through examples. Variables are the first step to build any program. Now it's time to create your own variables for your name, favorite color, and age. In next lesson we will talk about variable naming. So see you there. Today we are variable naming. To use variables effectively, Python has a bunch of rules that we must follow while naming our variables. Suppose x equal to 3, name1 equal to inside double quote. Let's write again Nasreen underscore color equal to single quote. Let's write red. The first rule of Python is variable names can only contain letter, a word with digit and underscore between two words or after a word. You can use underscore. The second rule of Python is a variable name cannot start with a digit. For example, if we write digit 1 before name, we will get an error. The third rule is we should avoid using Python keywords like if, else, while, loops, or for as a variable names, because if we start a variable name with a digit or if we use Python keywords as a variable name, we will get error because these are not valid in Python for variable naming. Now let's print our variables with their name. Print bracket inside bracket x, our first variable name, semicolon, space, print bracket our second variable name, which is name1, semicolon again, print bracket inside bracket. Let's write our third variable name, which is underscore color. In case if you want to write 3 lines of code in the same line, we should separate them with semicolon, otherwise we will get an error in console. Now let's click the run button to see our outputs. In console we got our variables value successfully. There is also another rule in Python, which is variable names are case sensitive. Like let's type age equal to 25, again age equal to 20. It means these two variables is different. The first age will not override the second age, which is equal to 20. Now let's print these two lines with the rest of our code to get the output. In print line, add a new semicolon and print bracket age, one more semicolon, print bracket again age. Now let's click the run button to see what we will get for these two lines. Here in our console we get values which are 25 and 20. Our first age letter, they all are in small letters, but in our second age the first letter is in capital. So that's why this age and this age are treated as separate variables. Python also gives us the capability to assign multiple values to multiple variables in one line of code. Let's learn it through examples by deleting these lines. Example: x, comma, y, comma, z equal to orange, comma, banana, comma, apple. Now let's use print function to display our outputs in console. Y and Z, and press the run button to see our result in console. We got the values for our variables in console successfully, and we can also assign single values to multiple variables. For example, let's delete these two values from our line and also add equal in the middle of our age variables instead of commas. Now let's run it again to get the output. In console we get the same value for our three variables. As we learned in Python variables chapter, we cannot combine strings and numbers like this. Age equal to 25, text equal to inside quotation mark. My name is Nasreen, comma, I am plus sign age, because when we want to get the output of this code by using print function, it will give us an error. But we can combine string and numbers by using f-string. F-string was introduced in Python 3 and is now the preferred way of formatting strings. To specify a string as an f-string, we simply put an f in front of string and add a curly bracket as placeholders for variables and other operations. Now let's create an example of f string by deleting this line and write text equal to f single quote my name is Nasreen, comma, I am, let's add curly bracket, inside the curly bracket let's write my age, print text. Now let's get the output by pressing the run button in console. In console we got the output successfully without any error. My name, which was a string, and age, which was integer. Welcome back everyone. Our today's topic is data types in Python. In Python, data types tell us what kind of data a value is. Python uses different data types to store different kind of information such as string, integer, floats, and booleans. So let's start with our first type, which is string. For example, print question mark, let's type Python. Whenever we see text or a number inside either quotation mark or single quotation mark, and that time we can say, oh, it's string. A string can be a number or a text. Whatever comes between these two round brackets from here to here, it's called parenthesis. Now, if I write a square bracket with a 0 inside it after closing code but inside our round bracket, this line of code, with the help of print function, it will give us the output of character P in our console. So press the run button to see. Here in console we got the character P from our string. Here is the explanation. In string we can access characters using an indexing number inside square bracket. Because Python uses zero indexing, it means in string the first character is in index 0, the second character is in index 1, the third character is in index 2, the fourth character is in index 3, the fifth character is in index 4, and the last character is in index 5. Now, instead of 0, if I write 1, this time I will get the letter or character Y in console. As I said, in console we get Y. But what if I add a subtraction or minus sign before 1? What do you think we'll get this time? Let's press the run button to see. This time, using negative indexing or using minus sign, I get n character in console, because this time indexing starts counting our string from back to the beginning. It means from end to start. And the reason is that we cannot minus 0 from itself, because it's logically it's not possible. Now let's change minus 1 to minus 6 to see what we'll get. This time we get the letter or character P successfully. Now there is a question, and the question is, how can we check the length of the string? to check the length of the string so many ways by using length function. For example, let's type user underscore name equal to input function double quote. Let's ask the user their name. What is your name? Now let's make another variable and name it length equal to inside bracket. Let's type the length function in short form, which is len length. Another bracket, let's type our first variable, which is user underscore name. Now let's get the output for these two lines by using print function. Inside the print function, we should write our second variable, which was length. Now let's run it. In console, we should write someone's name to get its length. And again, let's type my name, Nasreen. It seems that I'm too much obsessed with my own name. The length of my name is 6. It means my name contained 6 characters. We can also use another way to get the length of a string instead of typing in so many lines. And that way is, let's type print bracket, let's use the length function, another bracket, input function, third bracket, double quote. Let's ask from user their name. What is your name? And now let's press the run button again to see the same result but in shortcut way. In console, let's again type my name Nasreen and enter. This time in console I get the length 7. Why I get the length 7 when I use the same name, which is again my name? Because the length function also included the space which is before my name, so that's why we get the length 7. Here the input function is used to take the data from the users and return that data or information in the form of a string. And to get these lines output, we use print function instead of output in Python. Now, to check if a certain phrase or character is present in a string or not, we can use the keyword in. For example, text equal to inside single quote. Let's type the best things in life are free, exclamation mark. And now using print function inside round bracket open single quote. Now let's check if the free character is in text or not. In console we got true. It means the free text is present in this line or sentence. This time, to check if a certain phrase or character is not present in a string, we can use the keyword not in. For example, instead of free character, let's type expensive. Before in, at, not, in text. And now press the run button to check this time what we will get. Again in console we got the same thing, which is true, that the expensive word or character is not present in this sentence. Python has a set of built-in methods that we can use on a string to modify them, such as uppercase, lowercase, remove the white space, and so many. Inside print function, write the variable name text dot upper, open and close the second bracket. And now let's run it to see the result in console. In console, we got the text all in uppercase. Now let's change the upper to the lower and run it again. Again, in console we get our text in lowercase. Now, to replace a character or a letter in our string, we use the replace method. Inside the bracket, single quote, let's type the first letter of the, which is T, comma, another single quote. Now this time let's type D. We are telling Python, replace this letter to this letter in here. Now let's press the run button to see the result. As we can see in console, Python changed the letter T to D. To combine two strings to each other, we use the plus operator, and this is called concatenation. For example, A equal to double quote hello, B equal to inside double quote world, C equal to A plus B. Print. Let's type our third variable, which is C, because we combine our first and second variable by using plus sign into C variables. So that's why in print function we need to write the name of our third variable, which is C. In console, as result, we got hello world connect to each other without a space, which looks not good without a space. So to add a space between these two, after the plus operator we add double quotes with a space. After double quote with another space we add second plus operator. By doing this, we will get a space between hello and word. In console, we got the output for these two characters with a space between them. Another way to add a space between these two is inside print function, open double quote hello space plus sign, another double quote, write world. And now press the run button to see. Yeah, we got the same output. Instead of writing extra single quote with one more plus sign, we just add another space between hello and double quote. Let's remove the space from here and add it to here. We got the same result without changes. Now, what if I want to have this sentence inside this print function more than one time, but get the result in console in separate line? What do you think we can use in this case? I got you. In this case, we use backslash with letter N before the closing quotation mark and repeat hello world as much as we want. Now let's press the run button to see do we'll get the output in separate line or not. Yeah, we got, but we have a space in second line and third line in the beginning. To fix this, let's remove the space before each hello world. And this time in console, I got the result successfully without any space. Now it's time to talk on our second data types, which is integer. Integer stores whole numbers without decimal. For example, section equal to 2, lesson equal to 20, print bracket type section, our first variable name, again print bracket type, let's type lesson. To check the type of our variable, here in console we got class integer for these two variables. Integer can be positive, negative or 0, but cannot be decimal point. Now it's time to discuss on our third data types, which is float. For example, in this line before 20, let's add 2.20 means section 2 lesson 20. In this line, let's change it completely to something else. For example, price equal to, let's assign it to 55.5. And now let's change these to price. Run it again. In console, we get class float for our these two variables. Our last data type is boolean. Boolean stores true or false value, and the example is, let's clean this and write is underscore instructor equal to true is underscore student equal to false. In print function, let's change our variable's name is underscore instructor is underscore student. Now let's get the output in console for our last data types. The type for this is class boolean. When we face a condition or we want to make a decision, that time we can use boolean. Hello everyone and welcome back. I hope you all are doing good. In today's lecture, we have operators. In Python programming, operators are used to perform operations on values and variables. Operators are special symbols like minus, plus, multiply, divide, and operands are values in which the operator is applied, such as 15, 10, 11, 100, 12, and so many. Python has varieties of operators. So let's begin with our first operators, which is arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are used with numeric values to perform common mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And here is an example using different arithmetic operators such as x equal to 15, y equal to 4, print x plus y, print x minus y, print x multiply to y, print x divide to y, print x modules to y, print x exponentiation to y, print x fuller division with y. Now let's print them to see the result or output in console. As we can see in console, the outputs are for addition 19, for subtraction 11, for multiplication 16, for division we got 3.75, for modules we got 3, for exponentiation we got 5625, and for our last operator, which was fuller division, we got 3. The only operators that we should focus more on are these: modules, exponentiation, and fuller division operators. Python has 3 different related operators because different problems need different kind of result. So each operator is designed to match a common real world problems. And these 3 division is fuller division, modules division, and this division. Fuller division always returns an integer, but this division returns a float. So that's why in console as output we got 3 for fuller division and 3.75 for normal division in arithmetic operators. We can use fuller division when we want to split things into equal groups or we want to work on indexing. In these cases we can use fuller division. Sometimes many problems depends on the remainder, not the quotient. So that's why we have modules division. Modules division returns what is left over after we divide the numbers. And we can use the modules division when we want to check or we want to know a number is even or odd, or when we want to find out the leftover of 2 numbers. Exponentiation raises a number to the power of another number. When we multiply 15 4 times, as a result we get this. And sometimes it can be integers or float because it depends to the number we are going to multiply. Also, the plus operator is often used to add together 2 values like this. But it can also be used to add together a variable and a value or 2 variables together. For example, sum 1 equal to 100 plus 50, sum 2 equal to sum 1 plus 250, sum 3 equal to sum 2 plus again sum 2. Print. Inside the print function we should write the third variable, which is sum 3. And now let's press the run button again to show the result or output for us in console. The output for these codes are 100 and the rest are as it was before. Now let's talk about assignment operator. First, let's remove or delete all these and write x equal to 15. Again, x plus equal to 17. Print x. Assignment operators are used to assign values to the variables. This operator is used to assign the value of the right side of the expression to the left side of operands. In here we have only one variable, which is x, and these x variable holds two different values, which are 15 and 17. In here this equal sign does the job as assignment operators, where we assign 15 and 17 to this variable x. In second line we write plus operator because we want to add these two variables together. After running them, here in console the output is 32. Third, we have comparison operator. Comparison operator, also known as relational operators. In Python, comparison or relational operators compares values. It either returns true or false according to the condition. For example, let's write a equal to 13, b equal to 33, print a is greater than b, print a is less than b, print a is equal to b, print a is not equal to b, print a is greater or equal to b, and print a is less than or equal to b. And now let's press the run button to get our output in console. Here we got our output. In here the value for a is 13, but the value for b is 33. So a is not greater than b, that is false. But a is less than b, true. 13 is less than 33. A is equal to b, this is also false. A is not equal to b, again true. A is greater than or equal to b, again false. And a is less than or equal to b, which is true. Python also allows us to chain comparison operator. Example, a is equal to 13. Print 1 is less than a, and a is less than 14. Here we chain 1 and 14 with a. So let's see the output in console. Again, we got true in console because the value for a is 13, so that's why 1 is less than 13 and 13 is less than 14. Next we have logical operator. Python logical operator perform logical AND, logical OR, or logical NOT operations. It is used to combine conditional statements, and the example is A equal to true, B equal to false, print A and B, print A or B and print not A. In console, the output is false, true, false, and returns true if both statements are true. In here, the value for A is true, the value for B is false, or returns true if one of the statements is true. Here, the value for our A variable is true, so that's why we got true in console. And not reverse the result and returns false if the result is true. In here, this is true, so not operators reverse this and returns the false statements. One thing which is very important that we should pay attention to it is operator precedence. Operator precedence describes the order in which operations are performed. In simple definition, we can say when we have more than one operator in the same line of code, in this case there are some priority. Let's learn it through an example. If we want to write our operators inside multiple brackets, in this point, brackets as the highest precedence, meaning that expressions come inside bracket must be evaluated first. Let's write 3 multiply bracket again 3 plus 3 divide into 3 and minus again with 3. In here, plus which is inside the bracket has the highest priority. It will be evaluated first. Multiply will be evaluated second. Divide will be evaluated in third position, and minus will be evaluated in fourth position. But if we delete the bracket, in this point, this will be evaluated first. The multiply operator will evaluate it second, and the plus operator will be evaluated third. The last one is minus operator. And now let's run them to see the output with bracket, without bracket. In console we got different output because of the operator precedence order, and the precedence order is as follows: bracket, exponentiation, multiply, division, add, and minus. These are the precedence order. Bracket as the highest priority and the minus as the lower priority. We can also convert our variables to each other. For example, if you want to convert a string into something else like float or integer, let's take integer, print, quotation mark, let's type 1 2 3 plus another quotation mark 4 5 6. In this line, these two number is string because they comes inside quotation mark. In this point, we just need to specify the data type of our variable, and this can be done with casting. Example, print. In here we have to specify in which type we want to convert this string. I'm going to write integer, another bracket with quotation mark. Let's write 1 2 3. Outside the bracket plus with another integer, write 4 5 6. In first line, we will get the output as 1 2 3 4 5 6 combined to each other, because here the plus sign is concatenate these two strings together, so that's why we convert them into integer. In second line, we specify the type of our variable, and this plus sign will add these two numbers together. Let's see the result in console. Here, as I told you already, they are combined to each other without any space. But in here, we got the result as integer. Try it out. Create a small script that takes two numbers from the user and prints their sum, product, and whether they are equal or not. Hello everyone. In Python, an error is a problem in the code that prevents the program from running correctly. Errors usually stop the program immediately, and Python gives us a message explaining what went wrong. Understanding errors is a key skill because every programmer, even professionals, encounters them daily. Main types of errors in Python are syntax error, runtime error, and logical errors. Each type behaves differently and needs a different approach to fix them. Let's begin with our first error, which is syntax errors. Syntax errors happen when Python cannot understand the structure of the code. This is similar to grammar mistakes in a spoken language. The program will not run at all until the syntax error is fixed. In this line, if we delete our closing quotation code and run it in console, we get a syntax error. And the error says unterminated string in line 1. In here, our code missing the closing quotation mark. So that's why Python stops executing our code and gives us the syntax error in console. And let's add the closing code, run it again to check this time. Here we got our output successfully. Now let's give another example. If 5 is greater than 3, print 5 is greater. In this code, can anyone tells me what is exactly the problem? To find out the problem, let's press the run button to see it in console. Again, we got the syntax error. And the syntax error tells us unexpected colon. In our condition, if 5 is greater than 3, after 3 we're supposed to add or have a colon. So that's why the colon is missing, and Python highlights the exact line that where is the problem or the error. Now let's add colon after 3 and press the run button again to display our output in console this time. After fixing the code, our output is 5 is greater than 3. PyCharm helps us by underlying our code where we face with an error, and when we click on our code, we will see what is exactly the error. Next is runtime errors. Runtime errors occur while the program is running. The syntax is correct, but something goes wrong during the execution. These errors are also called exceptions. Before giving an example for our runtime errors, let's make this code comment, and in here let's type the error title, which is syntax error. And enter. Now let's create x equal to 10, y equal to 0, print x divided to y. This is an example for the runtime errors in Python. Let's run it to see what we'll get in console. In here we got 0 division errors, and the error is division by 0. We cannot divide 10 by 0 because logically it's not impossible. That is why the program crashed during the execution. Some common runtime errors are as follows. Integer. Inside the bracket, let's open double quotation mark and type hello and press the run button to check. In console for this code we got value error. In this line, the data type is integer and the expression that we put inside it is string. So that's why we got in console value errors. Another common runtime error is my underscore list equal to, let's open a square bracket and type 1, 2, 3. Print my list. Let's open another square bracket and type 5. Now let's press the run button again to see the result or output in console. In console we got index error, and the error says list index out of rank. Our list rank starts from 1 to 3, not to 5. But inside the print function, we said print my list and we add 5, and 5 is out of this string, so that's why we got error. Now let's remove the 5 with square brackets and run it again. This time we got the correct output, which is rank 1, 2, 3. Another common example for runtime error is print name. In console we got the name error, and it says name inside single quotation mark is not defined. Inside print function we print name, and the name hold nothing. The name has no value. To define the name, let's write name equal to single quote type string and run it again. In here, after defining our name, we got the correct output, which is string for the name. The third type of error in Python is logical error. Logical errors are the trickiest type of error. The program runs without crashing, but it produces incorrect result. Python does not warn us about the logical errors. We must find them by ourselves. And the example is number equal to 5 if number is greater than 10, print number is large. Else print number is small. This code runs well, but the logic behind this code is incorrect for the expected behavior, because in first line number is equal to 5 and the condition is if number is greater than 10, print number is large, and we all know that 5 is not greater than 10, so that is why the logic is incorrect for this code. And let's press the run button to display the output for us in console. In console as output we got a text that says number is small. There is a question, and the question is, what is the difference between error and debugging? An error is the problem in the code, but debugging is the process of finding and fixing that problem. Errors happen automatically, and debugging is what we do intentionally. When we want to do debugging, it should be effectively. It means we should understand what our code is doing at each step, because simple technique use can save hours of frustration. Welcome back. In this lesson, we will learn how to make decisions in Python using if, elif, and else. Control flow allows your program to behave differently based on conditions, just like how humans make decisions, or telling our friends, if it's raining, take an umbrella, else wear sunglasses. And the basic structure for our if condition colon code, another condition, again code, else, third condition, and third code. These are the structure for control flows in Python. Python uses indentation or space to define code blocks. Indentation can be done in Python by adding 4 space. This is very important. If it's not aligned correctly, we will get an error. So now let's learn more about our control flows through an example. Number equal to integer bracket, inside bracket input, where we take the data from the user or we want to tell the user to do something. Another bracket with quotation mark. Let's type enter a number. colon with a space. If number is greater than 0, in this case print the number is positive. Elif, which is our second condition, number is less than 0, in here print the number is negative. Else, that our third condition, print the number is 0. In here we are telling the user enter a number. It can be any number. In here, using condition, we are saying if the number is greater than 0, print positive. If the number is less than 0, print negative. In our last condition, print the number is 0. Otherwise, in our last condition, which is else, we are saying print the number 0. And now let's press the run button to see our output in console. In console, we must enter any number to get it positive, negative, or 0. Enter, for example, 6. The number is positive because 6 is greater than 0. Now, let's write another example to understand better our control flows. And the example is password equal to input inside bracket and quotation mark. This time let's write enter password. Colon with a space. If password is equal to Python one two three print access granted. With an exclamation mark. Else print access. In console, let's write an incorrect password, for example, PyCharm, and enter. Just because we write an incorrect password or incorrect word, in here we got access is denied. Let's run it again and this time write the correct password, which Python 1 2, 3 and enter. Again it says access denied because in here we mistyped our password. We add X. To make it correct, let's run it again and check this time. Type Python 123 and enter, and it says access granted. It means the password is correct. In here, our if statements work. The if statements evaluates a condition or an expression that results in true or false. If the condition is true, the code block inside the if statement is executed. If the condition is false, the code block is skipped. And else condition or statements allows us to specify a block of code that will execute if the condition associated with an if or elif statement evaluates to false. Else block provides a way to handle all other cases that don't meet the specified condition. And in here, the elif statement stands for else if. It allows us to check multiple conditions, providing a way to execute different blocks of code based on which condition is true. Using elif statements makes our code more readable and efficient. Great job! Now you understand how Python makes decisions. The shorthand of if and else statements allows us to write a single line of if and else statement such as a equal to 2, b equal to 330, print a if a is greater than b, else print b. This one line of if and else prints the value. In console, we got b as output because in here b is greater than a. And inside the print function, we write that if a is greater than b, print a, else print b. So that's why we got b as output. This method is also known as ternary operator. Ternary operator essentially a shorthand for the if-else statement that allows us to write more compact and readable code, especially for simple conditions. Today we are going to talk about nested if, elif, and else conditional statement. It means an if, elif, and else statements inside another if statements. We can use nested to check multiple conditions. For example, print welcome to the roller coaster. Height equal to integer input what is your height in centimeter. Bill equal to 0 if it is greater than or equal to 120. Print you can write roller coaster. Age equal to integer input what is your age? If age is less than or equal to 12, 12 bill is equal to 5, print child tickets are $5. If age less than or equal to 18, bill equal to 7, print youth tickets are $7. If age greater than or equal to 54, 45 and age less than or equal to 55, print everything is going to be okay. Have a free ride on us. Else bill equal to 12, print adults tickets are $12. Wants photo equal to input do you want to have a photo type Y for yes and N for no. If wants photo equal to yes bill plus or equal to 3 print your final bill is inside square bracket. Let's write bill else print sorry you have to grow taller before you can write. For running this code, let's close this tab and press the run button to see the in console. We got the message that says welcome to the roller coaster and it's asking our height. In here we write if height is greater than 120 print you can write roller coaster. Let's write in here 120 and enter. We got the message that says you can ride the roller coaster. And now it's asking our age. What is your age? In this line we write if age is less than 12 or equal to 12 and bill is equal to 5, print child tickets are $5. In console, let's write 12. Child's tickets are $5. Do you want to have a photo? Type Y for yes and N for no. Let's write here N and enter. We got a message that says sorry you have to grow taller before you can write. In this line, if one's photo is equal to yes, bill will be double. But if one's photo is no, it will skip this line without executing and print this line in for us. So that's why we got sorry you have to grow taller before you can write. And now let's rerun it and reverse the height, the age and bells to check what we'll get in this time. In here it's asking again our height. The height was greater or equal to 120. Let's write in here 119 and enter. After we write 119 and entered, we got the next question, which is what is your age? Again in here we write if height is greater than 120, print, you can write roller coaster. In console we write not the exact number. We write 119 instead of 120, so that's why this line is not printed, and it directly came to this line and asking our age. So let's enter our age as 11. The child tickets are $5. In here the condition is if age is less than 12 and bill is equal to 5, play this line. Child tickets are $5 as we got in console. In next line it's asking, do you want to have a photo? Type Y for yes and N for no. Let's type Y and enter. We got the message that says or tell us about our final bills. You can nest as many levels deep as you need it, but keep it in mind that too many levels can make code harder to read. Hello everyone. Today we have loops in Python. Loops allow you to repeat code automatically. Instead of writing the same code 10 times, you let Python repeat it for you. There is for loop and while loop. A for loop is used when you know how many times you want to repeat your code. The example of for loop is for I in rank 1 to 6. At the end just add colon. Print I. I is just a variable name. It stores one value at a time while the loop is running. You can think of I as a box that holds the current number. For example, I equal to 1, I equal to 2, I equal to 3, I equal to 4, I equal to 5, and so on. The name I is common, but you could use anything instead of I, like number, count. It's up to you. In take each value from rank 1 to 6 and store it in I variable 1 at a time. Rank start and stop creates a sequence of numbers. It starts at 1 and stops before 6. So the rank 1 and 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's press the run button in console. Why the output is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but not 6? Because rank never includes the last number. 1 is the starting number, it included. 6 is the stopping number, so it's not included. Think of it like this. Count up to 6, but don't touch 6. So the loop runs like this. I equal to 1, print 1. I equal to 2, print 2. I equal to 3, print 3. I equal to 4, print 4. I equal to 5, print 5. Loops stops before reaching 6. Let's give another example using for loop through a list. Fruits equal to square bracket with quotation mark, apple, comma, another quotation mark, banana, comma, third quotation mark, orange, comma, fourth quotation mark. Let's write cherry. For fruit, in fruits, print fruit. Fruits is list. List is another topic that we'll talk more about it in our upcoming lessons. And the condition is for fruit in fruits print fruit. Now let's press the run button to display the output in console for us. In here we got the output successfully without facing any error. Next we have while loop. A while loop repeats as long as a condition is true. You can use while loop when you don't know how many times it will run. Let's give an example of while loop. Count equal to 5 while count is greater than 0 print count. Count minus or equal to 1 print blast off. We create a variable and called it count, and the value count stores is 5. This is our condition. It means run the loop while count is greater than 0. If the condition is true, the loop runs. If it becomes false, the loop stops. Print count prints the current value of count. So it prints 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. By clicking the run button, let's see them in console. Here is our output. Count minus or equal to 1 means it reduced the value of count by 1 each time. Without it, the loop would never stop. How the loop runs? Count value is from 5 to 0. Condition is while count is greater than 0, which is true. 5 is greater than 0. 4 is also greater than 0. 3 is greater than 0. 2 is greater than 0. And 1 is also greater than 0. In 1, the loop stops. Print blast off. This line runs after the loop ends. When count becomes 0, the condition is false. The loop stops and the Python prints blast off. Why it doesn't print the 0? Because of the condition. 0 greater than 0 is false, so the loop stops before printing 0. Loop control statements are used to change the normal flow of a loop. They help us escape steps, stop loops, or do nothing when needed. Python has 3 loop control statements: continue, break, and pass. The first statement is continue. The continue statement escapes the current iteration and continues with the next one. Example: for I in rank 1 to 6, if I is equal to 3, continue. Print I. In here, when I becomes 3, continue escapes printing 3, and loops continue with the number before 3 and after 3. So the output will be 1, 2, 4, 5. The second control statement is break. The break statement terminates the loop immediately. Let's delete the continue and write break and run it again to see the output in console. When I become 3, break stops the loop. No more iteration happens, so that's why we got 1 and true as output in console. The third control statement is pass. The pass statement is used when we want to do nothing but keep the program structure. In our first line, instead of 6, let's add 4. In second line, let's replace 3 with 2. In our third line, let's change the break with pass. And again, click the run button. When I is 2, pass does nothing at all and program runs normally. Loops are extremely powerful. They help us automate repetitive tasks. In the next lesson, we will put everything together to build a practical project. See you there. Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we will talk about what are Python keywords. Python keywords are reserved words that have a special meaning in the language. We cannot use them as variable names because Python uses them to control program behavior. Let's give an example for our keywords in Python. Import keyword, print keyword dot keyword list. In here, import itself is a Python keyword. It allows us to use functions, variables, and classes from another module instead of writing everything from scratch. Why import is important? Because import encourages our code to reuse. It keeps programs short and organized, and import gives access to built-in Python libraries and third-party packages. Through these two lines of code, we can get all the keywords name in console as output. So let's press the run button to show the output in console. As we can see in console, these all are the keywords name in Python. How we can identify Python keywords? There are two ways to identify keywords in Python. The first way is we can identify keywords with syntax highlighting. Most of the IDE provides syntax highlight feature. We can see keywords appearing in different color or style in syntax. The second way is to look for syntax error. The error will encounter if you have used any keyword incorrectly. Keywords cannot be used as identifiers like variable or function name. Python keywords can be grouped by what they do. Control flow, value keywords, operator keywords, function and class. These all are the keywords category. Welcome back everyone. I hope you all are doing alright. Now it's time to apply everything you have learned. We are going to build a multiplication table generator using loops. From this mini project, you will learn how to take a number from the user, how to generate a multiplication table, how to use a for loop inside your project, and how to format output clearly. So let's dive in with an example. Print. Inside the print function, let's type our project name, which is multiplication table generator. In new line, number equal to integer input with another bracket. Inside the quotation mark, let's type enter a number. At the end, add colon. Print f string inside the double quote. Let's type the project multiplication table for number and colon. For I in rank 1, 11. At the end, let's add colon. Print again f string with quotation mark. Let's type number multiply type high. In our second line, by using input function, we are asking the user to enter any number. It depends to the user what number the user is going to enter. And we also know the usage of f string. We can use f string when we want to combine two variables. As you can see in this line, we have two variables, string variable and integer variable. To add these two variables together, we use f string. Now it's time to press the run button to check the output in console. As we can see, the console is asking for a number. Suppose I'm the user and I want to enter 12. After I entered, got the project name alongside the number 12 and the number 12 multiplied by 1, by 2, till 10. Why the 12 number multiplied till 10, not 11? Because from our previous lesson we learned that rank include the start number, but it doesn't include the end number, so that's why 12 multiplied till 10, not 11. In console, we only multiply 12 by the rank. We don't have the end result or the output of this multiply. To also show the end result of our multiplication in console, in this line, let's add equal number multiply into I. Let's press the run button again and repeat the same step with different numbers. Let's write 14 and again we got the same output, but this time with the complete multiplication process, as it shows 14 multiplied by 1 equal to 14. 14 multiplied by 2 equal to 28. 14 multiplied by 3 equal to 42. And 14 multiplied by 10 equal to 140. Now for you guys to experiment beyond the basic, let's open new line after our second print function and type start equal to integer input, another bracket with double quote. Let's write start from and add a colon. Third variable, let's name it int equal to integer input, another square bracket with double quote. Let's write int add with a colon. Now let's replace 1 and 11 from our condition with start and end. Start, comma, end, plus 1. As we know, the rank doesn't include the end, so that's why we add plus 1 to ensure that the loop runs from start to end, including the end. So now let's press the run button again, and console is asking for number. This time let's add 9. And again it's asking for the start number. Let's write 4 as start number and enter. The console is asking again for the end number. Let's type the end number 10. This time, as you can see, we got the complete multiplication for our project in console. We write 9 as number, 4 as the start of rank, and 10 as the end of rank. So 9 multiplied by each of the rank separately, and we got the end result for multiplication. And congratulations, you have built a real Python project using loops and conditionals. In the next section, we will explore Python data structures like lists and dictionaries, essential tools for storing Python data. So, see you there. Alright everyone, now it's time to learn one of the most useful things in Python, which is list. Think of a list like a flexible storage box where you can throw multiple items inside the list. It can be numbers, strings, or whatever you want. Generally, a list can be created using square brackets, but some programmers use the list constructor or by repeating elements to create a list. Now, let's create a list with an example. Fruits equal to, let's open square bracket, and inside square bracket double quote. Now let's type apple, comma, another double quote, banana, comma. This time let's open single quote, orange, comma, another single quote. Let's type straw, new line, number equal to, another square bracket. This time let's add numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Another line, let's type a equal to square bracket, single quote, hello, comma, 6, comma, true, comma, and let's add 3.14. Print fruits, print number, and print a. List can contain duplicate items. Lists are mutable. It means items can be modified, replaced, or removed from a list. Lists are also ordered. It maintains the order in which items are added. Lists can store makes data types such as integer, strings, booleans, and floats. Now it's time to run our code. As we can see, in here we get the output for our list in console. To access a list elements we using indexing. We learned about Python index in section 2, which was data types like string, integer. In print function, let's open another square bracket and add 0. In second print function, let's do the same thing, square bracket, but this time let's add -1. And in third print function, another square bracket, let's type 1 colon and 3. In our first print function, after adding 0 from our fruit list, we will get the first item, which is apple, as output in console. In our second print function with -1, list number will get the item or the number 4, because Python indexes start at 0. It means 1 is in index 0, 2 is in index 1, 3 is in index 2, and 4 is in index 3. It starts counting from left to right, but in negative indexing, strawberry comes in index -1, orange comes in index -2, banana comes in index -3, and apple comes in index -4. It reverses the counting. In our third print function, we have 1 colon 3. It means slicing in Python. In this line, 6 come in index 1 and its type is integer. True comes in index 2 and its type is boolean. 3.14 comes in index 3 and its type is float. But 3.14 will not be printed in console as output because slicing in index works the same way as rank. So now let's press the run button again. We got apple in index 0 from fruit list. We got 4 in index -1 from list number and 6 with true in index 1, 2 from list A, as we talked about. Since lists are mutable, we can update elements by accessing them again via their index. For example, let's open new line and write fruits index 1 equal to, let's replace banana with kiwi. Open double quote and write kiwi. In here, let's open another line and type number index 3 equal to, let's replace 4 with 5. In our last variable, let's open again a new line and type a index -2 equal to, this time let's replace true with false. And from our print function, let's remove the extra indexes. Now let's press the run button again. In console, in our first line, we got kiwi instead of banana. In second line, we got 5 instead of 4, and in our third line as output, we got false instead of true. We can add elements to a list using the following methods, such as abound, and the example for abound is fruits.abound bracket. Inside the bracket, let's type kiwi again. Abound adds kiwi at the end of this list. Another method is insert. An example for insert is number point insert bracket. Inside the bracket, we should specify the index with the object we want to add in our list. Let's write the index 4, comma, and element should be 5 again. Insert method add object or element 5 at index 4 of this list. So after 4 in console, we will get 5 as well. The third method is extend. An example for extend is dot extend bracket. Inside our bracket, let's open a square bracket with double quote and type by. Extend add multiple elements to the end of our list. And now let's press the run button again to check the output in console. In console, we got kiwi at the end of our fruit list. We got 5 at the index 4 of number list, and we got boy at the end of our third variable list. One thing that you should keep in mind is when you want to extend multiple elements inside your list or add a list inside another list, before writing your elements, you should use a square bracket. If you forget to use a square bracket but you type or add your elements on items, in console you will get the output not as you expected. For example, let's remove square bracket from here and press the run button again. See, in console we got by separately inside individual single quote. So that's why you should never forget to use a square bracket before typing your items. Now, to remove an element from this list, we use a different type of methods. For example, from this list to remove banana, in this line, we change abound to remove method and inside the bracket, let's type the item we want to remove. I would like to remove banana from the list. The second method is pop. Again, let's replace insert with pop. From the bracket, let's delete 4 and 5 and add index 2, new line, again number dot pop bracket. Pop removes an element at the specific index. In here we specified the index 2 because from this list we want to delete number or item 3, but in here pop removes the last element if no index is specified. So From this list, 4 will be removed. The third method is using delete statement. Let's write delete variable name, which is a, open square bracket. In here, let's again specify the index from the position we want to delete an item. Let's write -2, because delete also remove an element at a specified index. And from this list, I want to remove true. So that's why I write in here -2, because negative index count from end to the start. Now let's run it again to get the output in console. From our first list, banana is removed. From our second list, 3 and 4 is removed because we specified for 3 the index, and from our third list, true is also removed. We can also use delete statement to remove completely this list from our code. And let's remove square bracket with the index, and in here let's let the print function also for our third variable, and let's press the run button again to see. In console we got the output for our two lists, fruit list and number list, because the third list removed by delete statement. There is also another method, and the name of this method is clear. Clear method removes all the items from the list, not the list itself. In here, let's open new line and convert this to comment, and in new line let's write dot clear bracket, and in here let's write our third print function, and write our third variable a, and let's run it again. As we can see in console, we got our first list, second list and third list, but third list is without its element because the clear method deletes just the element of this list. Tuple is a kind of data structures in Python. A tuple in Python is a mutable ordered collection of elements. Tuples are similar to lists, but unlike lists, they cannot be changed after their creation. The main characteristics of tuples are being ordered, allows us to duplicate items, and tuple is immutable or frozen. To create a tuple, we place all the elements inside a round bracket instead of square bracket. Now let's create another tuple and name it colors equal to open bracket with double quote. Let's write red, comma, another double quote, green, comma, again double quote, and blue. Let's place our third tuple also inside the round bracket and remove the square bracket from here. Tuples can contain elements of various data types, including tuples, list, string, integer, float, boolean, dictionary, sets, and even functions. And now let's nest these tuples inside another tuple. Tup3 equal to round bracket, let's write number, comma, colors, comma, and tup. In here, let's replace number with tup3 and also remove the extra print function from here. Our first tup element is integer, number or list, and our second tuple element is string, again list. Our third tuple element is mixed data types such as string, integer, boolean, and floats. And our last tuple is where we nested the other three tuples inside our four tuples. When we run it, we will get the output as this. All the tuples are nested as output in console. When we want to repeat the element of a list or a tuple, we use the asterisk operator or multiplication sign. For example, tuple 2 equal to round bracket with double quote, let's type Python, comma, outside the round bracket let's add asterisk and the number that we want to repeat 4. This 4 means we want to repeat Python 4 times in console as output. And in here let's write print tup2 and press the run button again. In console for tuple 2, we got Python 4 times as output because of the asterisk or multiplication operator. And in here, we got the nested other 3 tuples inside the tuple 3. In Python, the asterisk operator can also be used in tuple unpacking to group multiple items into a list. This is useful when you want to extract just a few specific elements and collect the rest together. For example, in here let's write A, comma, asterisk B, comma, C, comma, equal to number. And from our last tuple, let's remove number. And in here, let's open new line and print A. Again, print B. And print C. In here, A gets the first items of number, C gets the last item of number again, and B collects everything in between C and A from the tuples or number. Let's run it again to get the output in console. As we talked about, A got the first item of number, C got the last
item of tuple or number, B got everything which was between 99 and 78 in our tuple, and the rest is as it was. Python tuple has a few basic operations such as accessing tuple, concatenate tuple, slicing tuple, and deleting tuples. We can access the elements of a tuple by using indexing and slicing, similar to how we access elements in a list. For example, in our last tuple, after color, let's open another square bracket and write 0. After tuple, again square bracket, let's write 1, column 3. 0 in this tuple will print only the first element or the red color. 1 column 3 in this tuple will print 6 for 1, true for 2, and slicing will exclude 3. And now let's run them again. In console, the rest are as it was before, only our loops 3 got changes. For index 0, in color, we got the first item, which is red. Index 3 column 1 in this tuple print 6 with true, because slice exclude the third or last number. So that's why for index 1 we got 6, for index 2 we got true, and slice stops before counting 3. Tuples can be concatenated using the plus operator. This operation combines more loops to create a new loop. Before giving an example for concatenate, let's remove this asterisk, also remove this one, and in here let's remove the bracket with the slicing, also comma, and add plus sign. After color, let's remove the open bracket and write our first loop, which is number, again space with a plus sign. And let's also remove and delete the extra print function as well. And again, let's press the run button. In console, we got the combined of the rest of our loop inside our last loops as output. Since loops are immutable, we cannot delete individual elements or item from a loop. However, we can delete the loop completely using delete statement or keyword. One thing which is important is when we print the loop after the deletion, the result in console will be displayed in an error, and the error is the output of after deletion. So let's remove this loop, this one as well. Just let's keep this, their name, colors, and in here let's open new line, write delete colors, and in print function let's also change their names to colors, and let's click again the run button. As we can see, in console we got an error, and the type of error is name error, and the error says name colors is not defined because we delete the elements or values of the loop colors. So that's why we got this error. Seeds are like a bag of items where order doesn't matter and duplicates don't exist. In Python, the most basic and efficient method for creating a set is using curly braces. For example, numbers equal to curly bracket 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To get the output, print numbers. And now let's press the run button to get our output in console as usual. Here we can see our output for seeds data structure in Python. Another way to create a seed is by using the built-in seed function. And the example is seed with bracket and double quote. Let's type Python is snake. Print is. After running this code, we will get the output for this line as each character will show in console individually inside the double quote but in one line. So let's press the run button again. As we can see in console we got output for our first line of code which was number, and we got the output for our second line of code. But why we got a different output for our second line or ace? Here is three reasons for seeds in Python. The first reason is seeds split the string into characters. Python is a snake, is a string data types. A string is a sequence of characters. So when we pass it to seeds data structure, Python takes each character separately. So seed stores individual letters, not the whole word. The second reason is seeds remove duplicate values. In here, Python is snake. Python and snake as two n letters. Seeds cannot store duplicates, so Python keeps only one n letter in console as output. The third reason is seeds are unordered. Seeds do not keep order, so Python prints elements in a random order as we can see in here. Python is snake is displayed in console randomly. Seeds also do not support indexing. Trying to access an element by index raises a type error in console. We can add elements to a seed using add method and update method. Add method can be used to add only a single item, and the example is like this. Let's make it comment first. In here let's open new line and type numbers dot add inside bracket. Let's write 6. Add method can be used to add only a single item in sets. To add multiple items, we can use update method. The example is numbers dot update bracket with square bracket, and let's type 7, 8 and run it again. Here we added items by using add method and update method. We can also remove an element from a set in Python using several methods such as remove methods, discard methods, pop methods, and clear methods. Each method works slightly differently. So let's give an example for each of them to understand it better. Numbers dot remove inside bracket. Let's remove, for example, 4. In here, remove methods removes a specified element from the set. If the element is not present in set, it raises a key error. Now let's give another example for discard method. Numbers dot discard bracket. Let's remove 5. Discard methods also removes as a specified element from the set. Unlike remove method, if the element is not found, it does not raise an error in console. Let's run it again. In console, as we can see, the item 5 and 4 is removed from our set by using remove method and discard method. So now let's give another example for our third method, which is pop. Value equal to numbers dot pop. And let's open new line. Let's type print value. In here, pop removes an element, but this method will remove a random items. So we cannot be sure what item that gets removed, but the return value of the pop method is the removed item in console. And let's run it again to get output in console. Here is our set and here is the removed value by using pop. Pop removed item 1 from set. Now let's give another example for clear method. Numbers dot clear and also remove this one. Clear method removes all the elements from the set and leaving our set empty. So let's run it to check. We got an empty set as output in console. So there is a question: if we cannot get an element from our set by indexing, then how can we access an item inside a set? Let's learn it through an example. A is equal to curly braces with double quote, and let's type again Python comma another double quote A's again comma with third double quote. Let's type again Python and new line for I in A's print I comma and equal to double quote with a space inside double quote. Again print inside the bracket. Let's open double quote and type Python is in A's. Because seeds are unordered and unindexed, we cannot access elements using a specific index. Instead, we must use a loop to iterate through the items or the in keyword to check for an items existing in seed. Now let's run it again. In console we got the output, and Python and Ace are both exist in our code. We used for loop to access the Python element, and we use in keyword to access the Ace element from our seed. But in here, as we noticed, one thing is that although the Python word was added twice in our code, it only appeared once in the output because seeds automatically remove duplicate elements from itself. Dictionaries are super useful. They store data in key value pairs, while keys must be unique and immutable, like strings or numbers. The values can be of any data type, whether mutable or immutable. This makes dictionaries ideal for accessing data by a specific name rather than a numeric position like in list. To create a dictionary, there are two ways. First way is using curly bracket, and the second way is using the dictionary function. So let's create a dictionary by curly bracket. Example, instructor equal to curly bracket. Inside curly bracket, let's open double quote and write name colon, another double quote, let's write my name Nasreen, comma, third double quote, age colon, let's write 25, which is my age. Print instructor in here. Name and age are keys for our dictionary. Nasreen and 25 are their values. Now let's create another dictionary using dictionary function. D equal to dictionary bracket, let's write A equal to double quote, let's write Python comma, B equal to another double quote, let's write Ace again comma, C equal to third double quote, let's write again Python print D. Again, in this line we have 3 key with 3 values for this dictionary. Let's click the run button to get the output in console. This is our first output for instructor, and this one is our another output for our second dictionary. In here, even though we don't have colon, but in console as output we have colon, because this is the way that dictionary stores value. A value in a dictionary is accessed by using its key. This can be done either with square bracket or with the get method. Both return the value linked to the given key. So let's learn it through an example. In here, let's remove age and add one column, single quote, Python, comma, bracket. Let's add 1, comma, 2, again column, square bracket, again 1, comma, 2, comma, let's type 4, for example. Inside the print function, let's open square bracket with double quote and write name. Another print function, instructor dot get bracket with double quote. Let's again write name. In this line, we accessing our dictionary elements or items using key. Name is the key inside square bracket, and in our second print function, we accessing the dictionary items using get method. Now let's run it again to see. In console we got output, which is my name, Nasreen, twice, because we can access the item of a dictionary by using its only key, not values. In here, accessing a missing key with square bracket raises a key error. Accessing with get method is safer because it returns none or a default value instead of an error in console. New items are added to a dictionary using the assignment operator by giving a new key a value. If an existing key is used with the assignment operator, its value is updated with the new one. An example is in here. Let's open new line and write instructor square bracket with double quote. Let's write age equal to 25, new line, again instructor square bracket. Let's write 1 equal to double quote. Let's write Python dictionary, and in print function let's remove the name. In this line we add a new key value, which is age, which is instructor age equal to 25, and in here we updating an existing value. We updating this value to Python dictionary, and let's run it again to check in console. As we can see in console, Python updated with Python dictionary and age added with its value at the end of our line, and we got our output successfully. Again, for deleting an item from the dictionary, we use the same method that we used in list, triples, and sets, which were delete method, pop method, clear method. Only pop item method is extra in dictionary. In here let's remove these two lines, and in here let's add another key value, double quote. Let's write age colon 25. And to delete an item from this dictionary, let's write delete instructor square bracket with double quote. For example, let's delete name. Delete method removes an item using its key. So that's why we write name, which is key for Nasrin. And let's run it. In console, we can see name is removed or deleted from dictionary. To delete an item using pop, let's delete this line and type value equal to instructor dot pop bracket. Inside the bracket let's add, for example, 1. In here pop method removes the item with the given key and returns its value in console as output. Inside the print function, let's replace instructor with value and press the run button. In console we got Python as output because in here we add its key, which was 1, using pop method. Another method to remove an item from the dictionary is pop item, and the example is, let's in here write key comma, and after pop let's add item and remove the one from inside the bracket. Pop item removes and returns the last inserted key value pair in console. Inside print function, let's write f string with double quote. Let's write key colon curly bracket, again key comma value colon curly bracket, again value. To add multiple data types, variable or expression together in one line of code, we use f string. So that's why we have f string in this line. This line return or print two things, which is key and value for the last inserted key value pair in dictionary, which was age 25. So let's press the run button to check the output in console again. In here, as we can see, age with 25 was our last key value inserted in dictionary. So we got them as output in console as it's showing for us. Another way to remove an item from dictionary is clear method. So let's in here remove this, and in here let's remove the pop item as well and write clear. In print function, let's clean all these as well and write instructor. Clear method removes all items from the dictionary and it makes our dictionary empty. Again, run it. Here we can see only the empty curly bracket because the items are removed or deleted by clear method. A nested dictionary is a dictionary that contains another dictionary as one of its values. And the example for nested dictionary is, let's remove this one first, and in here let's remove them too. Let's add 2 column, another curly bracket, double quote. Inside double quote let's write R column, again double quote, let's write inside double quote welcome, comma, single quote, let's write M colon, again single quote, this time let's write 2, comma, again single quote, let's type C colon, another single quote, let's type course, and let's remove H as well. In here this is our first dictionary and this one is our second dictionary which we nested inside another dictionary. Again, let's press the run button to display as the out. Here in console we can see our both dictionary are nested together. Awesome! Now you have met the 4 crew data structures in Python. Up next, we will build a super practical mini project using all of them. See you in upcoming lesson. Hello guys, in this lecture we will put everything together with a useful little project, Student Grades Manager. This project helps beginners practice lists plus dictionaries plus loops all at once. From this project, the goal is students should be able to learn how to add student names, add their grades, show all students, update a grade, and remove a student. So let's begin with our project's first step. Students equal to curly bracket. In here we create an empty dictionary. Next, let's create our project menu using loop while true column print student grades manager. Print one dot add student. Print view all students. Print 3 point update grade, print, four dot, remove student, print 5 point exit choice equal to input enter your choice column. In our next step, we should add student if choice equal to 1, name equal to input student name. Grade equal to input grade students square bracket name equal to grade. Print student added. And in the end, let's add exclamation mark. And in here we should show students to view all the students. elif choice equal to 2 print double quote students and column for name comma grade in students point items. Let's open bracket and close it with double quote. Print f string curly bracket name subtraction sign another curly bracket. Let's write grade and in here we want to update students grade. Again elif choice equal to 3 name equal to input student name to update. If name in students square bracket name equal to input new grade and column. Print updated. Else print student not found. And now we want to remove a student. elif choice equal to for name equal to input student to remove. If name is in students dot pop name. Print student removed. Else print student not found. Our last step of project is exit. So let's write our next line of code. elif choice equal to 5 print goodbye. In the end, break. Now, I want to explain our code in details for you guys to understand it better. This is our dictionary called date students, and this dictionary for now is empty. While through creates an infinite loop, it means the program will keep running until we stop it, and we stop our program using this break at the end. And our line 3 here, the print functions prints the menu option of our project in console, and choice equal to input, enter your choice. This asks the user to enter a number, and it can be a number, for example 1, 2, 3, any, it depends again to the user. And if choice equal to 1, this is our first option. If the user enters 1, the program runs this block of code, and in console user can add a student name like Ahmad Mahmoud, and then user will add the grade of that student, A plus, B, B plus, and so on. Students square bracket name equal to grade. This adds the student to the dictionary. For example, curly bracket with double quote, the user entered, and this line confirms the message that student added. Our second choice is elif choice equal to 2. This runs if the user selects 2 for viewing the students. Print students is just the heading that will show in console as output. For name and grade in students item, this loop through the dictionary and returns item, name and grade, and in this line we used f string to combine name and grade. Our third option is to update student's grade. Elif choice equal to 3. This runs when user select 3, and again users types the student's name. If name in students, this checks if the students exist in dictionary or not. In here, students again enters a new grade for the new students, and this also updates the student grade. Print updated, just this message confirms that grade is updated. Otherwise, through else, it will print students not found. Our fourth option is to remove student, and this code runs when the user select 4. After the user select F4, through this line user enters the name. Again, if students exist, this pop method remove the students from our dictionary, and print function print this message student removed. Otherwise, it will print student not found in dictionary. And our last choice is if user select or enters 5, the print function will print goodbye and the loops break. So let's press the run button to check the output in console. As we can see, the console is asking for our first choice. Let's add 1 and enter. And again it's asking for student name. Let's write Nasreen. Enter. Grade A, again enter. We got the message that says student added, and it's again asking for our second choice. Let's add 2, enter. Displays our first student Nasreen with her grade. And now let's add our third choice 3 and enter. And it's asking for student name to update their grade. Let's again write Nasreen and enter. In here we should upgrade the old grade to a new grade. Let's write A plus and enter. After we enter we got the message that says updated. For our fourth choice, let's write 4 and enter. Again, we should add the student name to remove the student. Nasreen and enter. The message says that student is removed. And here we should add our last choice 5 and enter. It displayed the message says goodbye. It means we are at the end. This project name is called Student Grades Manager. It uses a dictionary to store students' names as keys and grades as values. A while loop displays a menu continuously until the user chooses to exit the program or project. The user can add students, view all students, update students, or remove students. In this project, we also used if and elif statements to perform the selected operation. And boom, you just built a real useful little application using lists, dictionary, loops, and input. Through this project, you are really leveling up now. The next section will make you even stronger. See you in the next lesson. Welcome back everyone. In this lesson, we are learning about functions, one of the most important concepts in Python. Functions let you organize your code, avoid repetition, and make your programs easier to understand. A function is a reusable piece of code that performs a specific task. Think of it like a machine. You give it input, it does some work, and it may return an output. We can create a function using def key, create, bracket, and colon. This is the basic structure for function. The def keyword tells Python that we are defining a function, and this is the function name, which we called addGreet. This column tells Python that the function block starts from here. Print hello welcome to the course. This line prints the message, hello, welcome to the course, when the function runs. To call the function, we simply just write the function name, greet with bracket. Calling a function means telling Python to execute our function. Now let's run it to see the output in console. In console, as you can see, we got our message that says, hello, welcome to the course. A function might take input in the form of parameters, and the parameters comes inside the function name. Let's write name. A parameter is a variable that receives input. From our print function, let's remove the entire message and instead let's type f string with double quote, hello, comma, curly bracket, name. These print the message using f-string formatting, and the value of name will appear inside the message. And inside the function, let's open double quote and write a name, Nasreen. This calls the function and sends Nasreen as the input. And now let's press the run button again, and in here we got our message or output says hello Nasreen. Parameters are like variables that a function needs to do its job. Parameters are also called input. And in here the function needs a name to greet the person. So when we call it greet Nasreen, the parameter name receives the value as Nasreen. And we can also return a value in function. So let's remove till here and give another example. Div at bracket a comma b. Let's start the function. This defines another function called at. It takes two parameters, a and b. And now let's write return a plus b. This return sends the result back to where the function was called, and it returns the sum of a and b. Let's open new line, write result equal to at, inside the bracket let's give 5,7. This line calls the function. The values passed a equal to 5 and b equal to 7. The function calculates a plus b and it becomes 12, and the result is stored in the variable named result. Now let's use print function and write result, and again run it. In console we can see the returned value as output, and in here function is also can be used inside another code as we used it in this line. Functions are essential for writing clean, organized programs. Next we will see how Python's built-in modules help you write even more powerful code with very little effort. See you next. Python comes with many pre-built tools called modules. These modules give you functions like random number generators, math formulas, file handling, and much more without writing everything from scratch. And structure for module is import module underscore name. Or from module underscore name import specific underscore function. These two are the basic structure to create a module. So let's take one of them and write import math. Import is a Python keywords. This line imports the math module. The math module gives us many useful mathematical functions. Let's open new line and print math dot sqrt. Inside the bracket, let's write 16. In here we use the sqrt function from the math module, and sqrt means square root. So this calculates the square root of 16, which is 4, and print it. New line, and let's print math.pi. This prints the value of pi from the math module. Pi is a mathematical constant used in circle calculations. Its value is approximately 3.14159, I guess. Now let's press the run button to get output in console as usual. As we said, the square root of 16 is 4. We got 4 in console, and the value is also 3.1415 and the rest. There is also another module, and it's called random. To use the random module, let's remove this and write random new line, print random dot rand int. Inside the bracket, let's write 1 comma 10. This line import the random module. This module let us generate random numbers. In here, rand int means random integer. It generates a random number between 1 and 10. Each time the program runs, the number may be different in console. So let's click the run button to get it. In console we got 5 from between 1 and 10. Let's run it again. This time we got 8. Let's run it again, and now we got 2. So the number is different after we press the run button each time. Modules help you write powerful programs faster. Now let's use everything we learned to build a fun and practical project. See you there. Okay everyone, now it's time to build a fun project. We will create a dice roller that uses a function and the random module to simulate rolling dice. So let's begin by importing random module. Def roll underscore dice bracket weight column to start our function from here. In here we use def keyword to create a function, and the function name is roll dice. Return random dot rand int Inside bracket, let's write 1, 6. Random dot rand int means random integer, and it generates a random number between 1 and 6, and this number represents the 6 sides of a dice. The return keyword sends the result back to the program. Next, new line, print dice roller. This prints this title for the program so the user knows what the program does exactly. Now let's start with our loop. While true choice equal to input roll the dice question mark inside the bracket y slash aim and colon at the end. In this line, the program will keep running repeatedly until the user chooses to stop. And this line asks the user if they want to roll the dice, and the user can type Y for yes, N for no, and the answer is stored in the variable called choice. New line, if choice equal to inside double quote Y print f string with double quote you rolled a curly bracket roll underscore dice bracket. Let's add exclamation mark outside the curly bracket. In here, our first condition checks if the user type Y for yes, the program will roll the dice, and this line prints the result. Roll dice calls the function that generates a random number from 1 to 6. Now let's open new line and type elif choice equal to inside double quote n print goodbye and break. This line checks in case if the user typed N instead of Y, the program will stop and prints this message goodbye as output in console. And this break just stops the while loop. It means this ends the program. Again, new line. Let's remove the indentation and type else print invalid option. Please enter, and inside single quote let's write y or again single quote n. These else statements runs if the user types something other than y or n, and after that this message will tell the user they entered an invalid input. So let's press the run button to check the output in console. The console displayed the title for the program, Dice Roller, and console is also asking the user their answer, what they want. Question is roll the dice. Let's suppose I'm the user again and I want to type Y for yes and enter. The message says you rolled a 3 and console asking again the same question. Roll the dice. Let's type again Y for yes and enter. We got the same message with different number. You rolled a 4. Let's type Y again and enter. In here we got our first message that says you rolled a 3. This time let's type N for no. And it shows the message goodbye. Now let's run it again and repeat the same process. Y, you rolled a 4, again Y, you rolled a 5, again Y, you rolled a 3. In our last question that the console asking roll the dice, let's type something else instead of Y or N. For example, hello and enter. We got the message that says invalid option. Please enter Y for yes or N for no. So let's enter N for no. The program stopped and says goodbye. Great job! You used functions, loops, conditionals, and modules in one project. Hello everyone and welcome to your first real Python project. In this lesson, we are building a fun rock, paper, scissors game using Python. The player competes against the computer and the computer makes random choices using Python's random module. So let's start by writing code. Import random def get underscore computer again underscore choice equal to square bracket with double quote rock paper and scissors. Return random dot choice again choices again def determine underscore winner bracket player comma computer. colon and enter. If I guess I forgot to add ace in here, so that's why Python underlined this choice inside the bracket. Now the underline is gone. If player equal to computer return inside double quote 8's a tie. Elif player equal to inside double quote rock and computer equal to double quote scissors return double quote you win. Again, Elif player equal to double quote paper and computer equal to double quote rock return you win. Elif player equal to scissors and computer equal to paper return you win. Else return computer wins. Print rock paper scissors game. While true player underscore choice equal to input inside double quote enter rock paper or scissors bracket or single quote inside single quote Q to quit colon dot lower. If player underscore choice equal to double quote Q print thanks for playing. And break. And if player underscore choice not in square bracket with double quote rock paper scissors print invalid choice try again and continue. Computer underscore choice equal to get underscore computer underscore choice print f string with double quote backslash with letter N you choose curly bracket player underscore choice print f string with double quote computer choose curly bracket computer underscore choice result equal to determine underscore winner inside bracket player underscore choice comma computer underscore choice print result print. So we are done with writing our code and now I want to explain. First, in here we import the random modules to generate a random choice, to generate a random choices. Then in this line we create a function and name it getComputerChoice that randomly selects rock, paper, or scissors. Next, we create another function called a determine winner. This function compares the player's choice with the computer's choice and returns the result. This function compares the player's choice with the computer's choice to return the result. And our game runs inside the while loop, so the player can keep playing multiple rounds. And the program asks the player to enter rock, paper, scissors, and computer randomly chooses one option. And finally, the program compares both choices and print the winner. So let's press the run button to play our game in console. In console, we got the title for our game, rock, paper, scissors game, and console also asking the user to enter rock, paper, or scissors, or if they don't want to play, just type Q for quit. Let's type as user. Let's type rock and enter. As being user, I choose rock and computer choose paper. So computer wins. Now let's enter paper. I choose paper and computer choose paper too. So we get the message that says it's a tie. Our choices matched this round. Now let's write scissors. Again, I and computer we both choose scissors. This time let's type Q to quit and enter. It says, thanks for playing. Great job! Your game now uses functions, loops, conditions, lists, and random numbers in Python to build a simple, interactive game.
Thanks for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, and share.